Chapter 48, Too Cool for School? One of the hats I wear while working for Man Cave America is the Team Life Coach. Out of all the employees that work for the company, Henry the boss is the only one who consistently takes advantage of my services. He has let the staff know numerous times that I'm available to support them on his dime. I asked Henry why he thought the team wasn't taking advantage of his generous offer. He said, and I quote, "Because most techies think they are too cool for school and would rather die than be vulnerable and ask for help."
Stop pretending you're a mighty rock and say, people, here I am. It's as blessed to receive as to give. There's no division between the two. And by making myself vulnerable, I discover that it's really true. That there is no desert, just a lush rainforest. If I'm thirsty, then it's up to me to take myself out of my cave and open to humanity. To stick my neck out of my...
It's not just techies. I am prone to cut school as well. Perhaps it's an established old masculine tradition, a matter of pride to pretend you are not a full-time student at Earth School. Some men don't like being a student because they associate school with bad grades, guilt, and punishment. The spiritual Dr. Seuss says it like this: "Remember in school when you got your first C and you felt like you failed somewhat miserably? It's guilt that thinks misery leads to prevention, and for your own good sends you straight to detention. And in that detention he hopes you will suffer enough that you'll get that much wiser and tougher. It thinks it is serving some valuable service by making you feel bad and making you nervous. But guilt's not like conscience, regret, or remorse. Those teachers teach gently, while guilt uses force. What's wrong with you, stupid? And of course, shame on you, sir. Guilt thinks he's your teacher, but he's just your abuser." One day I almost missed making a huge impact in a woman's life because I was acting too cool for school. I refused to speak her love language, a dialect I was fluent in, John Denver. I'll explain. The year was 2023. I was presenting at a Mind, Body, and Spirit conference in Spokane, Washington. I was brought there to give a talk on the healing power of music. The exhibit hall outside the conference room was a thriving metaphysical marketplace, complete with psychics, healers, tarot readers, and crystal salespeople offering their wares to shoppers looking for a tweak in their reality, credit and debit cards accepted. Guitar in hand, I strolled through the halls, asking attendees if they would like me to compose them a song. One woman replied with gusto, "Yes, please sing me something from John Denver." I informed her that I was a prolific songwriter in my own light, and I would much prefer to sing her one of my own. "John Denver," she replied in a demanding tone that grated on my nerves. With a louder than usual voice, I suggested to her that she give me a topic, anything about her life, and I would instantly improvise a song just for her. "John Denver is what I want," she exclaimed with a sense of entitlement that had officially begun to piss me off. Abandoning what was left of my patience, I blasted her with my ego's bullhorn. If you weren't so fixated on John Denver, you might just have a Rocky Mountain High experience hearing something new from someone who might just very well be the next up and coming John Denver. John Denver, please. I felt heat rising up my neck. I was taking this much too seriously, about to pass her by and move on to more flexible ears. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes a moment, and asked for help to be more flexible on my end and dropped the power struggle my ego had invested in. Looking into her eyes, I began to serenade her with Annie's song, one of my favorite John Denver ballads. As I sang, "You fill up my senses like a night in the forest," she teared up. Soon she was weeping, which was a strange match to the happy grin on her face. We were sharing a magical moment right in the midst of a busy spiritual shopping mall. When I finished, she practically crushed my guitar in a bear hug I wasn't too thrilled about. I was hoping for a few words about her feelings, and she didn't disappoint. "I met John Denver once in Colorado, and he serenaded me just like you did. I will never forget the personal interest and warmth he showed me. Your song brought it all back. I needed that today. Thank you so much." Wow, I had been so close to passing her by. She asked me for love in the language that she could best receive it, and look what I would have missed if I stayed too cool for school. I took a moment to reflect on the moments of magic I have missed, all the times I refused to speak somebody's John Denver, insisting on communicating in my own comfort zone rather than learning their love language. When I coach people, I speak in a way they can best hear me. If inner child is a foreign concept, or if the word God closes their mind, I know there are always other ways to say the same thing. In matters of the heart, it pays to learn a second language, especially the one of the person you care about. Someone with a painful sunburn does not enjoy receiving your love in the language of a bear hug. A woman with a pressing fear of abandonment does not speak the same love language as a man with a strong fear of losing himself in a committed relationship. Have you noticed that people dealing with the fear of abandonment are often attracted to people frightened of losing their freedom? Why do they tend to be irresistibly drawn to each other? Maybe because school is in session. Relationships are a language laboratory, providing endless classes in emotional development. Don't leave me, and I need space. Join in holy friction so that the two might grow past the seeming language barriers between them. Many relationship challenges can be traced not to a lack of love, but to a lack of language skills. In all our relations, whether between countries or between people, a sincere intention to learn the language of the one we are communicating with builds a bridge between hearts and minds. Here is a simple phrase for your Tarzan to chew on. School is cool.